guys, welcome to Red Corner Boxing. You with Jam and Mr. Neutral as always, and we have got a very special guest. We have got the EBU European light heavyweight champion, Mr. Bradley, the Sting Rea. How are you today, Brad?
I'm all good. Thanks, lad. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Honestly, it's an honour to have your time. Just before we get into chopping it up, we're just going to say we are proudly sponsored by Easy Storage, your place to go for all your storage needs across the United Kingdom. Check them out. They handle your goods with care. And also Octagon Blog on X. These guys make some of the best jackets you will see. Have a look at these bad boys right here. This is the one you really want to take a look at, though. This one is unbelievable.
Have a look at that, Brad. Have a look at that.
That's a Red Corner Boxing special.
You'll have to get me one of them, boys.
Well,
Hey,
I
we'll
tell
send
you what,
mate. We'll send you one.
I tell you what, they're going into GD Sports shops all around the country very, very soon. So we will get you one. Don't you worry about that. But Brad, thank you for joining us here at Red Corner Boxing. And as usual with these kind of interviews, to let the fans know where it all started for you at the age of 7, when you started your love and passion for the noble arts. And if I'm reading it right, your parents opened up a gym in Charlton called St. John's. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they still run the gym now today. So yeah, I've been in the gym for as long as I can remember. Grew up in the gym. I was in there 5 nights a week when people were out on the park playing football, or got a bit older and they were doing all sorts on the park. I was in the gym Monday through to Friday, every night. Like I said, grew up there, done a lot of coaching there, obviously a lot of boxing there. So yeah, kind of molded in the gym. It's all I know, really.
And Saturdays, even when you'd be out, one would think that you'd be out with your friends, but no, you were helping out in the gym to clean up and stuff like that. I've read as well in an interview you'd done before. But I mean, am I reading right? You got 100-bout amateur career as well under your belt.
7, I think.
97.
Oh, yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, probably could have gone for a few, couldn't I, just to hit the 100. But I was at the point, I think the amateur game was behind me, and I was focused on the pro game. So in the long run, don't really mean much to me.
And your style is more suited to the pro game anyway, Brad, to be honest.
Yeah,
you're more of a pro boxer, man. You like to mix it up a bit, don't you?
Everyone used to say that when I was an amateur anyway. And like I said, it was in me head. I felt like I would be suited to the pros. And I just felt if I had to have a year or two, turn pro at 20, if I had to have a year or two learning on the job a little bit more, then so be it. But yeah, I look back and I think it was the right decision.
Yeah, well, looking at where you are now, mate, you're the European light heavyweight champion, mate. I think you made the right call.
Yeah, I mean, let's take you back to when you started at middleweight. I mean, you're 6'4". You've obviously fought everybody in your resume, I would imagine your amateur career until you met Shakan Pitters at 6'7". You must have been, my God, there's someone taller than me. But was it hard making weight for middleweight all them years?
Yeah, it was difficult. When I first turned pro, I was young. I was 20, and I was a skinny kid. It was manageable. It's just I kind of boxed at that weight, and then I felt over the years I grew and developed, but it was getting harder and harder to make the weight. And but I felt like I'd done the hard work at that weight. I was in a position where they were talking about title fights, and I was like, well, I've done all the hard work now. Can I just hold out and see if I can pick something up at this weight? Looking back now, I know I should have probably moved up a long time before. But look, we live and learn. I'm at a comfortable weight now. I'm at a happy weight, and I think without kind of making them mistakes earlier on in my career, I wouldn't be at where I am now. So I would say we live and learn.
Yeah, that's a great point, mate. Like, taking the Tyler Denny fight, I know it's your only loss. It must sting a little bit, you know what I mean? But do you regret taking that fight? Do you wish you'd have just moved up earlier and not took that Tyler fight?
I don't think I'd be the fighter I am today if I didn't lose to Tyler.
That's the man. That's it.
I think it's helped me shape me. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have moved away from Manchester. I wouldn't have moved to my new team. You know, I've got a new team behind me, a new weight, and I just feel like I'm a complete different fighter. And I think if you watch the Pitters fight and you watch the Tyler Denny fight, I think I look like a different fighter as well. You know, I'm not just saying
Absolutely. Absolutely.
100%,
I
100%
mean,
agreement. I had you for the KO in that as well. I took you. I
well,
was the only one out of the prediction league take you for the KO, bro.
I
I was
tried.
going to ask you, Brad, did you feel
Close.
better at 175 rather even better than you did at 168? Or did you actually fight at 160 or did you move
Yeah,
straight up? I can't remember.
I boxed at super middle twice, I think.
Twice, right?
When I moved to my new gym, boxed at super middle a few times, and don't get me wrong, I felt good. And then, you know, we were struggling to get opponents because I wasn't getting a look in on the big shows. You know, we were having to fork out big money to stay active on these small hall shows.
Oh,
And then we were struggling to get opponents and couldn't get a super middle. They said, would you box a light heavy? I said, yeah. And I felt good at it. I felt comfortable. And then I felt like I just grew into the weight. I was walking around at that weight. It was a bit heavy. Then I grew into the weight. And I just felt like if I was to go down to super middle again,
yeah.
I've not learned my lesson from the Tyler Denny fight then. I would have been doing the same thing. I would have been in the same position. So, like you say, I feel like I've learned my lesson and I've corrected my mistakes. And look, I feel good at light heavy. I'm happy. Like, fight week's nice. Like, I'm not. It used to be horrible. It used to be horrible to be a fight. Like, I'm happy and enjoy what I'm doing a lot more. You know, I wake up every day. Like, I love going to the gym because I'm well fueled for my training. I love doing what I'm doing. So, look, I'm happy where I am. I'm happy in the position I'm in.
Yeah,
That's
great
fantastic
stuff.
to hear.
Great stuff.
Sorry,
Now,
Neutral.
yeah, no problem, Jack. We both try to get so many questions.
That's it.
I want to talk to you about the power at 175. Now, when you fought Shakan, you know the boy can hit hard. There's no two ways about that. And you dealt with that pretty well during the fight. And as you were saying before, you wish you could have moved up slightly earlier, but for the Tyler Denny fight as a learning curve. But did you feel comfortable with that power all through the fight?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, this is my weight class now. You know, I don't feel out of place with these boys at all. And even I used to spar light heavyweights when I was a middleweight. You know, because I used to walk around that big. You know, and even then, during camp, I never felt out of place. But Pitters is probably the first real live fight I've been in at light heavyweight. So, you know, it was on my mind. This is where I'm going to find out now. You know, am I really this way? You know, I felt, like I say, I felt comfortable in there. I felt physically strong and I felt powerful. I felt like I was hitting hard. And
it showed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were going to take him, mate, especially late on. I thought you got him. I thought you cooked him, man.
Yeah, I know.
I really did. I was thinking my points, 15 points were coming into my prediction league, bro. I really did. I was buzzing.
But for the prediction league, we wish many boxers are downfall. But having said that, Shakan Pitters, you know, he was no easy task for anybody.
Oh, mate, it was a big boy fight, especially after what you've been through.
He came to win that fight. You crossed the Pennines. You went to Hull for the GBM show, and you took the European Boxing Union title. I mean, now we're hearing, hopefully you've heard this as well, that you've got a defence lined up in Italy.
Yeah. I have heard somebody's come through today about
this one, Brad. This one.
Yeah. Look, we've got options. I've been and seen my manager today, so I know I've got options. I know been ordered by the EBU for this fight. I know that we can take a voluntary defence before we fight the mandatory. So I've got. And look, the phone's been ringing. I'm in high demand now.
That leads me on to my next question to you, Brad.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, mate, while you were cooking. But I was going to say, after the Denny fight, did you feel like you was a little bit forgotten at middleweight? Like everyone just stopped talking about you, like your career had ended. A bit like what's happened with Brad Pauls. Like you lose one fight at the top table, and all of a sudden you're forgotten about. Did you feel that way after the Denny loss?
Felt like I was just kind of swept under the carpet a little bit, and
exactly, yeah.
It was hard because I had a little injury in the fight. I had a broken hand, and then I'd like to have got straight back into things when injury recovered, and then I was promised dates, I was promised fights, and then like 1 year very quickly turned into 2, very quickly turned into 3, and I was just fighting journeymen on smaller shows, trying to stay busy.
Yeah.
Because
And you're paying for them as well, which doesn't,
exactly, it's back in, like, I felt like I'd done my hard work early on. I'd sold me tickets on the small show. I'd come up, and it was like starting again, and it was tough.
Drag you back to the beginning.
Exactly, but I think in the long run, it's given me a good bit of time to work and adapt to my new coach and my new team. And I wouldn't necessarily say I was learning in the fights, but I was learning in the gym all the time. And I think in the long run, it's done me some good. It's done me some good to have a bit of time to adapt. But it was frustrating because I'd look on my box rec and doesn't look good. You know what I mean? But I was in a situation where it was either fight on these smaller shows, stay active against lower opposition, or don't fight. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Don't fight. Like what do you?
It's a catch-22 situation, isn't it? Of the highest order for boxers. But look, the resume is the resume, but you're based on your last performance. It's absolutely tremendous. Now, you've mentioned that you've got options. You mentioned that the phone hasn't stopped ringing. Is there anyone in mind at 175 pounds? Bear in mind, you are the European champion. Is there anything on a domestic level that you would like as an option?
Anyone you'd like to get your hands on, Brad? Anyone you want to just smash up?
Any of them, I'll fight. I've said it for 3 years now. Every interview I've done for 3 years, I've said I'll fight any of them. And now, all of a sudden, they all want to fight me. No one's wanted to know for 3 years.
Come on.
No one's wanted to know, you know what I mean? And
You've got the goodies, mate. You've got the goodies now. That's why.
You see, you got the goodies. Now, when you got the goodies, they want your goodies. The phone doesn't stop ringing.
I've probably
That's how it goes.
Big risk, little reward for the past few years. No one's wanted to know because of that. And now, I'm probably big risk, big reward. You know what I mean? They know they've got a massive title that they can, and people will probably know. I've only done 1 12-rounder, not experienced over the round, so they might feel it as not an easy fight, but you know what I mean.
Lesser a risk because of that fact.
They might think they can get to you late on or something, tire you out. They just not seen you in too many 12-rounders, so they think they could get to you. They'll find out, mate, that the sting's still there in the 12th.
Yeah,
exactly. And you give us that classic British 12-round gritty fight with Shakan Pitters. It's an absolute spectacle.
This is fantastic. We done the live watch along, didn't we, brother?
Yes,
we done the live watch along. Amazing, man.
It was amazing, man. And
I was doing somersaults around the living room.
And Bradley, I'm not going to sit here and pretend in the prediction league I didn't go against you by split decision, but we won't talk about that. I want to talk about. I was the
only one who called it right. Thank you, Mr. Neutral.
He was. We got to give Jams his flowers, even though he's in 5th place. He needs to improve.
Well, I have to let the people think they're winning. You know what I mean, bro?
I said set the standard, but they have anyway. Let's talk about when you went viral for that knockout of one Craig McCarthy. That was in November 22. That we was talking about the slight wilderness that you went through after the Tyler Denny fight. You went viral with that knockout. What was it like? The attention you got from that.
Yeah, it was good because I was kind of riding the wave. You know what I mean? I was still a young kid, and I was just living my dream. You know what I mean? And I was boxing on these big shows. I was boxing on Sky. I was boxing at Manchester Arena, and look, like that night couldn't have gone any better than, you know what I mean? I probably dreamed about doing that fight week every night. And it was good. And like you say, I was just kind of riding that wave and I was enjoying every second of it. But it come crashing down, which was hard for me, which was why it was so difficult to take, because I felt like I had the kind of mentality that, promoters should want to put me on shows and promoters should want to get me fights because I was entertaining. I had the I had the Jez Smith fight. People were saying, "Oh, you know, fight of the year." I had Cutler and McCarthy, both first round knockouts. You know what I mean? Like, I bring entertainment. This is entertainment today.
That's why I'm a huge fan, mate. That's why I watch every fight you're in. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
done from the start, bro. You've always been entertaining. Always.
Yeah. Now, Brad, how's your trash talking?
That's not me, mate. You're barking up the wrong tree. I'm too
Too
nice.
nice a guy, man. He's too nice a guy for that unless you're in the ring with him.
I'm trying to find that package, the great entertainer, the trash talker, the boxer, the film. Mate, just give me one opponent you just don't like and you just want to fight.
Oh, it's not that I don't like, but there's in the Linden fight a lot recently. And
Yes.
it's quite the other way because I actually like him. I know him very well, you know what I mean? But it's, I just think, look, talk about Manchester Derby, talk about the mentioned City United, so that got me up.
Come on.
And
Look,
That's what I was getting at. You got
come
it.
on, say you're going to knock him out, Brad. Come on, I'm Red Corner Boxing. Give us an
Give us a
exclusive.
message
You're
for
going to knock
Linden
Linden
right
Arthur
here,
out.
Red
Come
Corner
on.
Boxing. Come on, Brad. We'll get it. We'll get it to Linden.
Look, me and look, I've known Linden for years. I've known him a long time, but I find it very easy to shake his hand fight week. Look, yeah, I've known you, and then when the bell rings, I find it so easy to try and knock someone out who I know and who I like. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have to. A lot of people, they have to pretend they don't like someone. They have to try and make it personal. I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I've done it all my life.
It's a killer instinct.
My mate's with you, and I can try and knock you unconscious.
Yeah.
Aim of the game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's
So
it,
you've
mate.
got that.
Beautiful.
You've got that kill switch.
Yeah, it's probably a bit scary how easy I find it. You know what I mean? It's not. It's a bit sinister maybe, but
Can I just ask you, Brad, about the cancellation of the fight that you was meant to be on the Beterbiev Bivol card, wasn't you, in Riyadh?
Yeah.
That must have broke your heart when the Swedish, what was the Swedish last name? Konstantin Nanga, when he pulled out. That must have broke your heart because that was a massive stage for you to fight on. That is literally the pinnacle of most boxers' careers, and you were set to be on there.
Yeah, maybe.
How did that make you feel, mate? How did you bounce back from that to pull out a performance like you did against Shakan Pitters? How did you keep that hunger and energy going?
It was hard, mate, because like I'd been waiting for a chance. You know what I mean? I've been waiting for the phone to ring, and like you say, I was staying busy on these smaller shows and was staying active. And in my head, I'm not gonna get notice. I'm not gonna get a 10-week camp. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get full notice. I'm gonna get 3 weeks. Are you ready to fight? Are you on weight? And I'm gonna have to go, yes, I'm ready, let's go. And I was, you know what I mean? I think I got the call 4 weeks out or something. And the next day I was on the train to the press conference, you know, in London, sat on stage with Bivol, Beterbiev, you know, Shakur, I mean, all these fighters. And then look, that was my opportunity. That was everything that had happened in my head. I was like, it's happened for a reason. It's put me on to this path to now, you know, fight on the biggest stage possible. And I was gutted when it fell through. And like, it's not about the money. It's never been about the money for me. You know what I mean? I don't box for the money, but I'd also not been paid for 2.5 years. I was living off, you know, ticket money and sponsorship. So it would have been nice to get a little payday, but it was tough. Like, it was very tough to take. But again, I had the mentality that if I go and see my ass now, if I go sulking, if I go eating whatever and go on the piss all the time, then the phone's going to ring and I won't be ready.
Yeah.
So got back in the gym and I was cracking on. I knew the phone was going to ring, and then the phone rang 3 days notice for the Dos Santos fight in London.
Oh, mate, that's what I was going to ask you next. Daniel Blender Dos Santos, and then he went and screwed you over on fight night.
Yeah, so again, that was it. That was like, right, well, the Saudi fight hadn't happened now for this reason. I'm going to be European. I'm going to headline on the zone. I'm going to be European champion. And look, I was so up for that fight. I was coming. Yeah, I was coming for a demolition job, 3-4 rounds. I was going to run through him. I was so up for it. And I don't know if they I don't know if they thought they were getting a bit of an easy touch at late notice. And then I rocked up at fight week and I was saying I was going to smash into bits. So yeah.
They knew.
look, that was a tough one because I was there. I was at the venue. I'd weighed in. You know what I mean? I'd done all the hard work.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Brad, we were sat here ready to do the live watch along, mate.
Yeah.
It was once upon a time, weren't it? On the Huey Fury card, wasn't it? It was that one. And me and Mr. Neutral were sat here waiting for Brad Rea. We were buzzing. We were like, come on, he's going to get the European title here. And then all of a sudden, at the last minute, it's called off, man. We were fuming, so we can't even imagine how you were feeling.
Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. But on the night, like, Izzy from GBM, like, he knew I was gutted. And he said to me, like, you know, not he owes me because he didn't owe me anything. He told me that
he just wanted to help you.
We'll get you the shot. We'll get you the shot, the EBU shot.
Yeah, and so we promote Shakan. You know what I mean? He doesn't owe me anything. So look, I appreciate him. And then I spoke to Shakan was there on the night. I spoke to him, and look, he said, "Yeah, look, I'm up for it." Said I was up for it, and it seemed like an easy fight to make. And finally, you know what I mean? Finally. I've finally got my chance on kind of a big show and a big platform, and like I said, showing people what I've been doing for the past few years.
100%, man. Just honestly, it shows your mental fortitude that you stayed focused after them 2 cancellations. That could have broken many and many men. You know what I mean? But you stayed focused, went in there and smashed up Shakan Pitters, mate, and took it. In my opinion, absolutely beat him up. You know what I mean? It was wide for me. Wide.
There's nothing more dangerous for the man with the kill switch that wants to go in and hurt you, Jams. That's the difference. That in mentality.
Oh, I know, mate. I've lost my teeth to it.
Is European champion. Brad, it's been a wonderful experience having you in Red Corner Boxing here tonight, but we want to know finally from you, 2026 is going to be a massive year for you. Massive, massive year. Would you like to see a couple of good fights into 2026 and then the ultimate, get to Riyadh? And it will happen for you. You're in a much better position than you were before Riyadh last time. It's just their common sense that they're going to have you on, such as the entertainment value you give there. So, you know, is that the plan for you in that wonderful country?
Yeah, I think for me, the plan is now I've got this bargaining chip because it's been the plan, it's been the goal since I was 10 years old, is get the British title. The British title has been a title for me. That's always been my goal because I love it. You know what I mean? I want it on my mental-piece until the day that I die. You know what I mean? I want to win it outright and then win that, and then we can look at you know, the bigger picture. But yeah, look, it's not. I'm not asked about get me out there and make loads of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want that British title because it's
that British title. It's a beautiful
Lord Glendale belt is the one, isn't it? It's the one.
Belt.
It is, and always has been. But saying that, if Turkey's on the phone, who am I to say no? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, isn't it? Phone calls come and go. But when Turkey's on the phone, it's hard to say no. Jam's undone. But I just want to say, Brad, thank you very much for speaking with us. We wish you the very best of luck. And I pity your next opponent. With the European champion. Absolutely tremendous stuff. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Brad, mate. Thank you for sharing your time with us on Red Corner Boxing. We are massive fans of yours. We'll keep supporting your career, mate. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you're going all the way to the top, my brother. You take care now, okay? God bless. Mr. Neutral, that was a great interview, man. What a top guy.
Isn't he just?
Just before we wrap it up, we're proudly sponsored by Easy Storage and Octagon Blog. I'm not going to show the jackets because people have seen them. But just again, what a gentleman, mate. He's heading places, Brad Rea.
What a gentleman. And thanks to everybody coming to the chat. Hakan, we see you. We see Darren there. Brilliant stuff. Everybody's watched this. Hope you've enjoyed the interviews that we do here on Red Corner Boxing.
Many more to come.
Many more to come with many prominent boxers and personalities from the world of boxing. But for me and Jams and the sponsors of Easy Storage and Octagon Blog, we'll see you soon.
God bless you.